tonight's game. This Sunday, January 25th, 2026, your SE701 Icemen taking on the visiting Sherwood Park 701 from Kenilworth Arena in Edmonton, Alberta. Your Icemen wearing their Utah Mammoth colored third jerseys. Sherwood Park Knights now taking the ice for warm-up. Your Icemen getting a win last night, a 5-2 victory and 2 points as they visited Spruce Grove in the Grant Fuhr Arena. Of note, Denver Burkus goaltender sitting out his second of 3 games on a suspension. So Kane Jordan will man the net for your Icemen again tonight. We don't see a backup goaltender. Last night we had SE701 goaltender as a backup. Your Icemen come into the game 8 league games, sitting at 4-4. 33 goals for, 32 against, 154 penalty minutes. Sherwood Park 701 sitting just below them. 3 wins, 4 losses, and a tie. 33 goals for, 27 against, and a low 89 penalty minutes. So almost half as many as your Icemen. So your Icemen will look to stay out of the sin bin tonight, and obviously the Sherwood Park Knights, not a very penalized team, so I would be surprised if your Icemen get more than 4 power play opportunities tonight from this Knights roster. Your Icemen sitting with 8 points in the standings, the leading team. South Zone 702 have a 7-2-1 record. Sit atop the league with 15 points. Ferrero back in the lineup tonight, so I believe Smith will move back up to forward as he's taking reps as a forward in warm-up here. He was manning the blue line with Homulus last night. Your Icemen off this week to Toronto for a tournament. Look to play 3 round robin games and then get into the semifinal and hopefully the final on Sunday in Markham. .145 remaining in warm-up. So recapping last game against Spruce Grove 701 last night. 5-2 victory for your Icemen. Icemen off to a 3-2 lead in the first period. Provided 2 more in the second. Knotted at zeros in the third and held on for a 5-2 win. Shots on goal 43-30 in favor of your Icemen. And with 2 points last night for Leek, Sawyers, Peralsney, Vanderham, Homulus, and Knapsick. Gwinnett, Carrier, and Cologne picking up singles. And Jordan stopping 28 of 30 shots. So the final 20 seconds ticking down on warm-up. This game about to get underway. Like I said, the 9th regular season game for your Icemen. They will play again Tuesday before taking off eastbound Wednesday and Thursday for the Markham tournament. Get you the starting goaltender here for the Knights. It looks like it will probably be number 35. So we'll see who's going to take the pipes here. It looks like Benjamin Krager will have the night off to start here, as I believe Kane Toner will be in between the pipes for the Knights.
How about Toronto? Because I don't know anything yet either. I'm trying to find out. Yeah.
Face-off won by your Icemen. Weeks will chip it in and give chase. Centering pass just out of reach of Ferris as he jumped up, and Peralsney sails that over the net. Carrero back to pick it up over to his deep partner Ferris. Ferris sends it in, and that's going to be flagged down for icing. So it is Kane Toner in net for the Knights. As I mentioned, these teams evenly matched in the standings. The Knights 3-4-1, and your Icemen 4-4 through 8 games of play in the regular season. Face off to the left of Jordan. Ferris or Homulus able to push his man off the puck up to Sawyers. Doesn't get out there. Out those. Homulus hounded. He chips it back to himself. Up to Sawyers. Little pass to Gwinnett. That doesn't get out again. Good play by Sawyers to step up and chip that out in the neutral zone. Knights have to tag up. Still on the delayed offside. That gives your Icemen time to regroup. Knapsack over to Homulus to the near boards. Homulus gains center. He'll dump that in and rim it around for Gwinnett, who chases that down to the opposite corner. Chipped up to the line, but not out as Sawyers curls. Throws that through a sea of bodies that hits a Knights player, and it'll get worked back out into the neutral zone for Homulus. Homulus to foot, back to Homulus. The near boards, quick up to Sawyers. He tries to chip that in. That's broken up by a Knights defender. The Knights chip it in. They'll give chase. Foot first to the puck, chips it into the corner, but the Knights retrieve it back. Homulus and Foot out here for a while now on this shift. Sailed through, and I believe it was rightly tipped on the way as Friesen sent that to the net. Through some bodies, and that beats Jordan on the blocker side to give the Knights a 1-0 lead just under 2 minutes into this hockey game. Vanderham, Smith, and Giamaroli out here. Carrier will tie up his man, allow Vanderham to get it. Vanderham up to Giamaroli. Will get to center, works it over to Smith. That's into the skates, kept in. Trying to gain it, get it free. Smith fights his man off. He'll shovel that back in behind the net and give chase. Smith finishes his check along the board. So does Giamaroli. Some forechecking here by this line of Vanderham, Smith, and Giamaroli. Nothing of what I would not expect. It's exactly what I would expect from this trio of forwards. Smith now off. Porozny out here. Cologne picks it up. Shot just about gets through the legs of Toner as Porozny was looking for a rebound. Toner able to smother that with a glove for a whistle. Weeks now out here with his line mates of Baines and Porozny. Work back out of the neutral zone. Baines picks it up. He'll move it over to Carrero. Carrero gains the line. He'll throw it into the opposite corner. Porozny first on it. He'll pick it up. Chip it to himself. He protects the puck down below the goal line. Baines in to help out. Baines centering pass off the skate of the defenseman for the Knights, and the Knights will pick it up and gain center. Good job by Weeks on the backtrack to force his man off the puck at the blue line. Puck stays in. Baines moves it up to Weeks, but that's not out. Ferris will get the puck, evade a defender. Baines will pick it up, move it up to Porozny. Porozny with speed, one-on-one shot. Good stop by Toner as he got a piece of it with his blocker. Baines curls at the blue line. Drops it back for Homulus. Homulus downloaded Porozny into his skates. Porozny picks it back up. Feeds it up to Foot, and that's out of reach, and the Knights will dump it out to center and get a line change. Homulus fires that in, just missing the linesman. Chipped up and out. The Knights trying to catch the Icemen on a break. Homulus moves it up and out, just missing Weeks. Weeks is going to get off here. Sawyers and Knapsack are out. And Gwinnett, the centerman, will come out with this line. And Jordan has seen enough, and he'll hold on for a whistle. Work down along the near boards, or the far boards, just out over the line, and defenseman for the Knights trying to fire it back in, mishandles it. But the Knights pick it up again. They'll lob it back in. Homulus back to pick it up. He squeezed off the puck. Moves it to Sawyers. Sawyers chips it out of the neutral zone. Not far enough for icing, and Knapsick will give chase. Knapsick, Gwinnett, and Sawyers still out here for your Icemen. Worked up to the point. Carrier keeps that in. He'll shovel it back down low, and Knapsick will pick it up on the nearer boards in the corner. Tries to ship it off the boards back to the point to Cologne. That doesn't work. It's tied up. Kept in. Knapsick can't corral it on his backhand, but the Icemen keep it in, and subsequently the Knights send it down the ice, and an icing will be called. So the Sherwood Park 701 Knights get an early goal from Friesen from the point to gain the 1-0 lead just under 3 minutes into the first period. And your Icemen behind by one as Vanderham, Binder, and Smith now out here. Lobbed off the boards. That'll get behind Cologne. Carrier comes over. Tries to force his man off the puck. Good stop by Jourdain to square up to the puck. And he'll hold on for a whistle. So a different look now with Binder out here with Smith. Instead of Giamaroli, Smith, and Vanderham. Vanderham in to take the draw. Smith will get it. Moves it over to Binder. That handcuffs him, but Cologne will pick it up, move it up to Vanderham. Vanderham comes in with speed, fires it. Looking to go low blocker, and Toner got a piece of that. That was labeled for the corner. Puck held along the boards. Good play by Vanderham to chip it up to Binder. Could be a possible 2-on-1. Binder fires it. Goes off a Knights player's stick up into the netting out of play. So a wholesale line change for Coach Ferris as Weeks will come out with his usual line mates here, Baines and Perosny. Face-off won by the Icemen. Carell keeps it in. The Knights able to get it out. Just gets out as Ferris. Tried to get it over the blue line on the backhand. Just got out over the line, so the Knights have to tag up. Another great job on getting a stick in a lane on the zone entry by Ferris. Negates that Knights entry. Work back to Perosny. Perosny will curl back to the boards, give it back to Baines. Baines tries to hit Perosny. Coming through on the left corner. Puck is picked up by the Knights who try to chip it down the boards, but Carrera will keep it in. The Knights going to come back the other way. 2-on-2. They're just Elliott content to shove that to the back wall. Chip back to Elliott. Elliott fires it, and that goes off of Weeks and stays in. And Jourdain quick to get over to his left post to prevent that wraparound. And tipped on the way to the cage by Sandin. But Jourdain able to find that through traffic and hold on. Gwinnett, Sawyers, and Knapsick. Sawyers will gather that up on a face-off win by Gwinnett. Sawyers takes his man to the boards. In the corner, trying to force a turnover. That gets down to Knapsick. Good job by Sawyers on the forecheck. Force the turnover. Knapsick picks up the puck. He's hounded by one or two Knights players. Up to the blue line. Foot tries to keep it in. Kept in momentarily until it's chipped out by the Knights. Into the corner. Homulus will go back and help out his defense partner. Pick it up to Gwinnett. Gwinnett up to Sawyers. That eludes him, and the Knights will keep it in. Try to get through the slot was a Knights defender, and he was dumped as he tried to corral that puck and get a shot off. Puck back up to Sawyers at the blue line. Puck inadvertently hit the official prevented Sawyers from curling off the half wall. Gwinnett gets stripped of the puck at the blue line, and the Knights able to fire that right in on Jordan, who eats that into the crust for a whistle. 8:01 gone in this first frame. 1-0 lead for Sherwood Park 701. Carrier tries to move it to his deep partner Cologne. That doesn't work, and he'll gather it up and move it back to Binder. Binder tries to move it up the wall to Vanderham. Binder, Vanderham, and Giamaroli now out here. That's kept in at the point. Move to Friesen again, the goal scorer. Hits Cologne, and Cologne gets it out, and he's going to race after it. Eric Cologne in all alone. Backhand, forehand. Just missed the net. Is a great opportunity by Cologne that chipped the puck out of the zone and then beat the defenseman to it for a breakaway. Great look by Eric Cologne to gain separation from the Knights defender. Puck back up to Cologne. Cologne through traffic, and Toner did not see that and just got his pad on it, covering the bottom of the net. Just out over the blue line. The Icemen are going to have to tag up as Carrier shoveled that back in. Might be called on a glove pass, which it is. Cologne able to keep that in as he knocked that down with his glove, but that was to himself, and it's whistled down. Good shift by Cologne, who had a breakaway. Shot through traffic from the point and kept that puck in. Rosny, Weeks, and Binder. Another face-off win by Carrero. Moves it over to Ferris. That's picked off. Sharp-angled shot fired around the boards. Baines on the back end. Chips it to the middle. For Porosny, it's a 2-on-1. Porosny to Weeks. I think he hit the post. Is a great pass. Great setup. And the Knights are going to be back the other way at 2-on-1. Good job by Ferris to come back and break up that play. He muscles his man to the ice. A little bit of back and forth here between the Icemen and the Knights here. A little bit of extended pond hockey as both teams trading chances. Carrero tries to move that up and out. He's hounded up on the half wall. Ferris will reverse that back to Porosny. Porosny keeps the puck, tries to move it up to Baines. That doesn't work. Weeks in there to help out. Puck is picked up by the Knights. Centering pass right into the blue paint. Baines will pick it up. It's a 2-on-1, if not a 3-on-1. Baines drives. Porosny drives to the net. Baines keeps, shoots, and scores. Just over the blocker of Toner to knot things at one. The 2-on-1 that developed into a 3-on-1. Baines elects to keep and shoot just inside the far post to knot the game at one. Sherwood Park again sends that in, that zone entry. Just elects to lob it into the zone and give chase. And a hot shot in. Fought off by Jordan. Foot to Sawyer. Up to Gwinnett. That's kept in by Pittman. Pittman hounded at the line by Homulus. Pittman again kicks it in. He's hit Sawyers to the ground. Great job. Quick up to Knapsick. Knapsick tries to get to the net. He's fought off. Going to be a 1-on-1 between, it's a 2-on-1. Pass across as Foot was back on the 2-on-1. Schreiber keeps it, fires from the point for the Knights. And Jordan able to find that through traffic and get the whistle. Vanderham, Giamaroli, and Smith out here for your Icemen, along with Colomb and Carrier. And Carrier tries the outlet pass, that doesn't work, and it's sent down for the icing. So we'll do it again. Back in the Icemen zone, 8:48 remaining in this opening frame. Face off to the left of Jordan. Vanderham with a clean draw win, back to Carrier. He'll shovel it around to Colomb. Colomb up to Giamaroli. Giamaroli into the slot, that's turned over. Giamaroli muscles his man to the ground. It's out and it's a 2-on-1. Smith across the blue line, fires it, tries to get it through traffic. That hits the defenseman. Smith lobs it behind the net for Vanderham. Vanderham fights his man off, forcing a turnover. It's pinned along the boards. Smith gives chase. Bodies flying over near the Knights bench as Knights player up in some discomfort goes right to the bench for a line change. Carrier up to Giamaroli, just out of his reach. It's a delayed offside. And Zahara picks it up and it'll be waved on the offside. So that errant pass almost was intercepted by Zahara, but just outside the blue line. Icemen have to be careful not to provide any scoring opportunities to the Knights off the rush, as forced turnovers could be costly. Shot through traffic, and Jordan got a piece of it with his right pad and stick. Worked up and out. Weeks will get it on the backhand, chips it out into the neutral zone, but no further. Sherwood Park will pick it up. Reverse. No look pass by Zahara. Get picked off by Baines. Baines in, fires. Looks to go in the same spot over the blocker of Toner. And Toner up to the task that time. Had the answer. And the Knights just gain control of the puck and fire it down for an icing. Zahara none too pleased with himself as that no-look reverse pass was right onto the tape of Baines, which created that scoring opportunity. And he slams his stick in disgust at the Knights bench, going off. Ferris. What a stop by Jordan! Centering pass by Sherwood Park, back door. Makes no mistake, and the Knights go up 2-1. Great stop by Jordan. The puck goes into the near corner. Sherwood Park first to get it. And a pass back door. Finds its mark. And a great pass results in a puck just inside the post on Jordan. And a 2-1 lead for the Knights. Face-off win by Gwinnett, and Sawyers will fire that to the back wall. Knapsack will knock that back in on Toner, and Sherwood Park will pick up and regroup behind their own net. The Knights try to come out. That's broken up as Gwinnett forces a turnover. Knapsack to Sawyers. He tried to shovel it on the backhand. Works it back to Homulus. Homulus, his shot goes airborne, and Sawyers trying to get into the blue paint, inadvertently bumped into the goaltender, but foot corrals that outside center, and bodies are flying in the Sherwood Park bench as he fired that in. As Foot gets the glare of the Sherwood Park bench. Vanderham centering Smith and Binder. Colomb and Carrier. Shot in, bounced in on Jordan. He'll hold on as two Knights players were bearing down looking for the rebound. Face off to the right of Jordan, won by Vanderham, back to Colomb. Colomb around, but it's picked off by Sherwood Park. back to the point, but not out. That's lobbed from the point into the opposite corner. Slandowite moves it back to Friesen. Friesen will rim that around the boards. Carrier hits his man. Vanderham shovels that around to the opposite corner. Binder right up the middle. Gets it to Smith. Smith to center. He's hounded. Gets it to Vanderham. Puck takes a weird bounce and Binder picks it up right to the net. Tries on the backhand. Binder gets it back. Moves it back to the point to Carrier. Carrier shot. Hits a body and goes around to the opposite corner. Smith in on the forecheck. Bodies for the Knights get tangled up, and a shot by Carrier sails just wide of the mark. Binder gets the puck. Some good zone time here by the Icemen. Back to Colomb. Colomb fires it with Vanderham standing in Toner's way. Carrier fires it back the other way. It could possibly be a 2-on-1 for Sherwood Park, but at the end of the shift, the Knights player peels off for the bench. Colomb to Binder. Binder will send that in and get a line change in. Fresh bodies out here as Baines almost intercepts that at the blue line of the Knights. Porosny will dump that in. It's off a body and gets held at the top of the circle. Baines shoots it from the point. And the loose puck is gobbled up by Toner as Porosny was looking for the rebound. So a 1-goal lead for the Sherwood Park 701 Knights with 4:43 remaining in this opening period. Face-off won by Weeks to Baines. Baines fires it, just missing low on the blocker side. Baines will have to corral it himself. Tries to get that in deep. That doesn't work, so he'll send it in the opposite corner. Puck just chipped out by the Knights. Ferris has to corral that in his skates. Does well to get that. Moves it over to Carrero. Carrero up to Baines. Tries to center that to Weeks. Inadvertently picked off again by Weeks. Weeks fires it upstairs over the shoulder. Short side on Toner. And it's a 2-2 game. So Baines, right at the blue line on the outlet pass, chipped it back through his legs. Defenseman pinching up, misplayed it, which allowed Brady Weeks to pick it up, and he comes in and fires it up over the shoulder of Toner with a well-placed laser to tie the game at 2. What a shot by Weeks. Puck chip back into the neutral zone. Omula smartly bounced it off the boards, and Sherwood Park has to tag up. Omula steps up on his man, forces a turnover. Gwinnett just dodges a thunderous check. It's a 2-on-1. Sawyers to Gwinnett, and it's in the back of the net. 2 goals within a minute. Put your Icemen up by 1. Gwinnett gets away from a freight train at the Icemen blue line as a defenseman stepped up for a big hit. Gwinnett dodges that check. Gets back into play, and Sawyers with a great feed on the 2-on-1. Gwinnett staring at the yawning caves, makes no mistake. And it's a tie game. Up off the glass and in by the Knights as they pursue the puck again on the dump and chase. Sawyers chips that again. Friesen mishandles that angle. And again, Icemen. And we call offside on the zone entry as Sawyers moved that over to Knapsack and stretched out to try to stay on side, but just waved offside by the official. Done a great job on to chip it around that defenseman. Nice defenseman trying to hold the line aggressively, which is creating odd man rushes for your Icemen. Good job by Colomb to chip that away from his man. Vanderham will move it up to Giamaroli. Giamaroli back to Vanderham. He's pushed off the puck by Slandowite or Slade White. And the net is off, not called yet here. It is now, as the official realizes. The cage behind Jordan had become dislodged. So with 3:05 remaining in the first period, your Icemen score 2 goals within a minute to take the lead. A tying goal by Weeks. The go-ahead goal by Gwinnett. A great pass on a 2-on-1 by Sawyers. And Giamaroli hits Elliott hard. Elliott gets up, keeps the puck in. Giamaroli looking for more. Shot in on Jordan as Pittman got behind the defense. But Jordan, no rebound to be had, holds on. Face off to the right of Jordan. 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in this opening frame. Forced turnover, and Weeks is back the other way. Pass right up to Baines. Baines, forehand backhand. Tries to go 5-hole on Toner. And Toner squeezes the wickets to keep it out. What a pass by Weeks just to put it into the open ice, and Baines skated into it. Found himself all alone. Forehand, backhand, and on the backhand tries to go 5-hole. Toner, what a great save. Face-off won by the Icemen. Fended off easily by Toner. Perosny centering pass broken up in the slot. Weeks fights to get the puck back. And the Knights just turn around and fire it down the ice to relieve the pressure. So again, aggressive play by the Sherwood Park Knights defenseman. Trying to hold the Iceman blue line, creating at least 4 odd-man rushes now in this first period, 2 of which have resulted in goals in short succession. Knights play, centerman waved out of the draw. Face-off won by Weeks to Perosny. Tries to work that back up to the top. That doesn't work. Baines will pick it up, works it to Perosny. That's off his skate and right back to Baines. Baines moves it right into the slot. Weeks will pick it up. Back to Ferris. Ferris fires it through a body, or hits a body. He'll keep it in. Baines to Perosny. That doesn't connect. Ferris keeps it in inadvertently. Perosny will give chase, just trying to chip it back into the zone to prevent Schreiber from getting a zone exit. Carrero mishandles that. It's going to be possibly a 2-on-1 with Friedmark. Fires it into the crest of Jordan as he was square to the shooter. And no rebound to be had. Slade-White in to take the draw against the Icemen's Gwinnett. Won by Slade-White. Shot hits a body. Homulus will move it into the far corner. That's up to Gwinnett. He'll chip it up. Sawyers. It's a 1-on-1. Sawyers fires it. Goes off of the defenseman's stick and into the opposite corner. Foot'll pinch down to keep it in. Sawyers centering past Knapsick. Doesn't work. But Homulus pinches down to keep it in. Kept in again by Foot. Foot. Nope, not kept in. Right on the line, and the official says that he saw white ice, so it'll be offside. 1:13 remaining in this first period. 5 goals in this first period, 3 by your Icemen, 2 by the visiting Knights. Puck rimmed around the boards. Jordan out to stop it for his defenseman, Homulus. Homulus, great pass to Sawyers and a great breakout. Gwinnett picks it up, comes around the near boards, lobs it into the below the goal line. Gwinnett picks it up again, trying to center that to Sawyers. And then Knights will pick it up. Centering pass almost picked off and right onto the stick of Knapsick, as the Knights have to retreat back in their own zone. Pass up to Friesen doesn't work. Campbell will pick it up for Sherwood Park. Gets in, he's hounded by Foot. And the puck goes to the opposite corner. Centering pass. Nice little short chip shot by the Knights. Almost gets up over the shoulder of Jordan. And subsequently Jordan sprawls out on his stomach to hold on with 24 seconds remaining in the opening frame. Vanderham, Smith, and Giamaroli out here now with Colomb and Carrier. Vanderham down to help his defenseman. Carrier up to Smith, up to Giamaroli. Giamaroli drives in. Moves it back to Smith. Vanderham picks it up. That gets kicked back to Carrier. Carrier will fire that in, missing the net. It goes to the opposite corner. And as the period expires, your Icemen will take a 1-goal lead into the dressing room. Good job to keep the puck in the offensive zone to end that period. So after one period of play, it's your SE701 Icemen 3 and the Sherwood Park 701